Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and I am here grateful to all of you who have already stopped by, made your introduction, or at least said hello. Blessings to all of you. I do appreciate everyone. All the names I see, I know there's people behind those labels. And those people, your generosity, your kindness, your loyalty, your appreciation is appreciated sincerely. Um, I'm filled, haha, filled with inspirations once again. I've been paying attention to life, making some more observations, mental, emotional conclusions, really finding some different ways of being and thinking, and it's been quite delightful in my journey. And I'm grateful to all of you who join, those who are here live and those who may join later too, of course. Seems to be where more are. Anyway, the topic today, I've had a great day. I've been online already for quite a while. I visited our friend, London Man and Pamela over on the Rebuttal Bar earlier. And then I shared time with Paul Unslaved and Brian O'Shea, Snafu, for a little bit earlier too. So it's been an interesting day for today. And for those who don't know those names, it's up to you if you check them out. I do actually, look them up. See what you think. See what you think. I encourage that. Life. It's really easy for us to become very close-minded in life, isn't it? You ever notice that? It's really easy to come up with these ideas of who we are or who we think things or other people are. We come up with these opinions that don't always turn out to be true or helpful or accurate. Today, what I wanted to talk about is finding the spirit of life, right? Because that's where life is really at, and a big part of it off the thumbnail. There's been a lot of compliments on the thumbnail, and thank you. Thank you for the creativity and the support. I don't know what I should say for you. You know who you are. You're incredible. The talent behind the creativity. Fantasy Friday, right? We do live in a fantasy world. It is a world of illusions. The great task in life is to find reality. That's a beautiful quote. And I love the connection to Fantasy Island because that is where we live. This world we live is kind of a fantasy for some, nightmare for others. It's a real chore for others. Anyway. So, in my words on this, that which is real, and that's what we're seeking to find reality. That which is real is true. So, focus on the real moments in life. It also helps to love that which is true. So, love every bit of that which you know to be facts and to be true. And if you can open your mind up, you can learn from every moment with an open heart. Every moment can lead to an opportunity to exchange joy, to exchange love, because it is. Each moment we share with each other truly is an opportunity to exchange. What is it that we're exchanging for our life force and being? What I realized is many people don't pay attention as much to what they are sharing. They're so focused on what they can get or what they can protect. We live in a world of illusions and fantasies. The part of the game, though, is to realize that fantasies can come true. Your dreams can become realized. If you put enough faith and effort and time and attention into achieving your dreams, they can become fulfilled. There's answers for every problem, there's solutions to every, obstacle. Life doesn't have to be a chore. It doesn't have to be painful. Pain exists, it's part of the journey, just like darkness exists, it's part of the growth. Confusion exists, fear exists. Yeah. There's a lot of uncertainty in life, but so what? So what? We have the freedom to choose each day what we do, how we live, what matters to us. Every day we choose the priority, the meaning, and the purpose of the things in our lives, and that includes ourselves. But if you're focused on things, what things are, things come from thinking. Okay, there's a connection there. The things you identify with the labels and the meanings that you find come from your thoughts. They're thoughts. Things come from thinking. We got a lot of people in this world acting like clowns, thinking they are in charge, that they know. A lot of false witnesses running around making false accusations upon one another. A lot of insults and negativity, a lot of hurt being exchanged with a lot of different people. And I'm just talking about on these YouTube streets that I've been involved in, let alone in the bigger picture of the world. This world we were born into, it's a little confused. Things are not always as they seem. So, what I've been learning how to live for myself is with freedom and grace and love and appreciation. And it really is. I would not want to be anyone but me in this world right now, despite the rumors and reputations of what people claim and say about me. I know who I am. And I am a messenger for the truth of God's love. One of the things I realized more clearly today, I've recognized that they've shown patterns that they haven't understood or haven't fully listened to or accepted my words based upon the accusations and the way they treat me. But I've recognized that, but then I've also recognized there's been a lot of criticism. So I realize what people are doing is they're watching my behavior more than they're listening to my words. So, well, that's another sign. I better start watching my behavior a little more closely if I want people to receive the words that I'm offering. Because I really do want you, whoever you are, to receive the words that I'm offering. I see a better world, a different world, this world, but in a different way. It's waiting for us. A world of peace and prosperity and abundance, a world absent of profitable confusion, profitable conflicts. A world beyond wars is waiting for humanity to receive, to create. See, hey, brother, this is what I've been realizing. I got to change myself in order to help others accept the message. This is a task perhaps for all of us, each of us. And I've mentioned this before that we can all improve our ability to communicate when we slow down, when we find more gentleness in ourselves. See, there we go. There's God's gift showing us right in front of our eyes once again. I spoke the words I needed to hear. I pointed out the messages that I needed to pay attention to about growing in gentleness. And I'm confident in this. This is my path, especially with my crazy purpose, my crazy ideas. Our God is so good. Our God is so, so good. The stillness is so gentle. The silence is powerful. See, because it's through the silence of our listening and our seeking that God reveals the wisdom. The wisdom is realized in the silence from within you. And the silence within you is beyond the mind chatter, behind those gossiping and controlling voices that are always around, whether it's in your ears or around. There's voices and gossip and voices and words that want to control you, want to interrupt your peace, interrupt your silence. You choose what you allow. We all do. God allows. We choose what we allow ourselves and each other in our experience together, moment by moment by moment. And if we're all stuck in the past, focusing on our memories and our opinions, and so righteously fighting to prove ourselves right, we're missing out on opportunities, right? And the opportunities of life are abundant. The idea is to move beyond the limits of form, move into the essence, the spirit of life, which is you. And the spirit of life that is you, it's your wisdom, it's your love, it's your ability to be compassionate, it's your ability to be humane, right? Understanding, honest, authentic. Those are the spirits of who we are. The true, authentic self is not limited by this form. The true, authentic self of you and me, it's divine. One could say it is we are all aspects of God, experiencing very limited experience of what God has created, because we only experience our own narrow existence in what this world is happening. And I truly feel blessed. I truly feel blessed that I am who I am and where I am. I'm grateful that God has allowed me to learn everything I've learned. And I'm grateful that God has protected me from learning the things I have not. Gratitude is the key to happiness. And the key to happiness, that's what we're all seeking. But happiness is fleeting, it's subjective, it's a mystery. Life is a mystery. But the spirit of life, here, let's break this down. We have a free will. We exist in duality. It really can be A or B. But don't limit yourself to only A or B. Don't limit your options. You get to choose what your options are out of what is available from what you find. Point is, we have the free will to choose. We can choose to be with the spirit of life or with the form of life. Now, what are the differences? I meant to try and figure out doing some graphics, but like I said, I ended up online the other day or earlier, and I've been having fun. Life is fun. Life is an adventure when you allow it to be an adventure. When you allow yourself to laugh and to let go of, oh, I've got to be right. They've got to be wrong. If they're not wrong, then I'm not right. And if I'm not right, then oh my God. Get over yourself. People are wrong. It's better to know the truth and to end the arguments, to surrender to peace. Oh my God. I encourage you to try it. I encourage you to try it. Next time an argument or a disagreement comes up and you just rah, 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 try to surrender to peace. See what you think. I mean, it's every moment is a case by case basis, but don't forget that peace is available in every moment. Absent conflict or disagreement, peace is there. Whoa, what a concept. See, but that's just it. In the form of life that where we're limited by our beliefs, the form limits. The limits are conditions. The conditions that we find in the limits, those become our excuses. Those become our blame. And when we're walking around with all these excuses and all this blame, all that's doing is distracting from the wisdom. It's distracting from the love. So the excuses and blame that we find for ourselves from the imagined conditions, imagined limitations, well, actually, whether or not they're real limitations or conditions or not, believing that they have some sort of superior power over you is like giving up. So when we live in the form as though I'm this being and this is all I am, um, we live limited with conditions. The conditions bring our excuses and our blame, and that corrupts us. You don't have to be corrupted. You don't want to live in a corrupted world, I assure you. I've done that. I went through processes of seeking to purify myself from my confusion, my resentment, my hate, my anger, and I'm growing in my gentleness. So, my purpose, what I found, is uniting with the spirit of life, and the spirit is unlimited. There's no limit to the spirit. The spirit is eternal. It is unlimited, and unlimited is unconditional. It's without excuses. The love and the law that was demonstrated through Jesus, Yeshua, that was pure. The love that is pure is without conditions. You can become conditionless. You can become excuseless. You can become blameless when you become aligned with the truth. And when you walk the narrow path of truth humbly, yet confidently, confident that the truth is the answer, okay? When you walk the narrow path of truth, there are many different perspectives, right? Many different perspectives, yet there is one truth. So the narrow path of truth that allows many different perspectives to exist, but it doesn't move the truth, it doesn't change the truth. Those other perspectives can be, but when we walk that narrow path of truth without excuse, without blame, we purify ourselves of our sins. It's actually that, I think it's that simple. And see, simple is usually obvious, and people don't want to accept things that are obvious. We just create these mental resistance. I've witnessed it in conversations. People's eyes will literally kind of roll back. They're like, "Oh, I resist that. That's not. No, that the challenge is what I know." But the human mind is just amazing. It's absolutely incredible, and the human mind is within you. You have a portion of the human mind. There's another point I want to get through, and then I'll maybe check out with the chat and open it up too soon. But one of the realizations, and here I've witnessed people on this panel, not today, but in the previous, I've witnessed people in this panel say, I'm not listening to you. You can't be trusted, so I'm not listening to you. If you do that to yourself, if you do those things, those patterns, I can't learn from that person. I can't learn from them. I can't listen to them. I can't understand this thing, this event, this experience. If you think you can't, you will not. It's really that simple. And if you choose to believe that you cannot learn from another of God's creation in your unique experience, if you think you can't learn from that moment, you're a fool. You're choosing willful ignorance. B- These I see many people that want to stay in denial. And I'm sure I was guilty of all of this in the past. I'm not saying I'm above or anything. We are here sharing this experience together. And I've done a lot of work on me. Okay. And I want to share freely, not charging people, just an exchange of your attention and willingness and respect. That's it. I've been working on myself for the purposes of influencing the world around me in good ways, hoping to create a more gentle, forgiving, compassionate, generous, loving, abundant, prosperous world. I want to see a better future for us all, including the people I've never met, including the people who don't know I exist. I want their lives to improve. Why? Because we all deserve a better world. We all deserve a chance to grow, a chance to thrive, and there's many children today. There's many there's a lot of suffering in this world today that's outside of the experience of you and me, but I care about those people. Um, well, that was weird. Hey, the idea is to get past this ignorance, this chosen ignorance and willful ignorance of I can't learn, I can't understand. Recognize you can. Recognize what you can do. You, whoever you are, we all have the ability to learn from each moment. Simple as that. That's the humbling truth. Every moment brings an opportunity for us to learn, which brings another opportunity and another opportunity and another opportunity until we're done. So if you think you've learned enough, if you think you've heard enough, if you think you've got an answer for everyone and everything, guess what? You're wrong. Hello. Hello. Can you accept being wrong when you're wrong? Can you humbly accept the truth that the world offers? And I'm suggesting that many people in this world have been wrong or are still wrong about what we can do, about what they can accomplish. If I'm speaking to you and you're living the life of your dreams and you're changing the world around you, God bless you. If you're not, let's grow together. Okay, there's suffering, there's needy people, there's orphans, there's opportunities for love and healing to be shared. So, the egoic minds who repeat the patterns of day to day to day, holding on to their confusion and their arrogance, right? Just wanting to be right all the time. The path through the ego suffering, through the helplessness and hopelessness and confusion and fear and anger and all that negativity that life brings forth, the path through that is surrender. Surrender to the higher power. Surrender to the truth that's beyond yourself. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link there. And let me see. I'm going to invite hopefully this good enough. Please pardon the pause here, folks. Doing the best I think I can. Trying to share the invitation to the other streams as well. I typically focus on the YouTube because it seems to be that's where I grew from. And that's where it appears I have a little more attention. So I have dropped the link, I believe, and thank you. Thank you to those who are joining on Rumble or on Facebook, and all are welcome to join conversations. Today, the topic is really about finding the spirit of life. What brings you life? Where do you find the spirit of life for yourself? How do you share? What spirits are you sharing with others? Those are kind of the questions. Yeah. God is using me as an interesting example. This is what I've realized. This is my life. Our God, our Creator. There's only one. I saw someone ask earlier, who's God? Which God? There's only one. Accept that, and then you'll understand who I'm talking about, what I'm talking about. We don't have to create so many imagined reasons not to understand each other. The human mind is a fascinating gift. Our God, who loves us, has gifted us with everything we need to realize every bit of wisdom, to gather every bit of wisdom, to realize every answer that we may need. We have the tools available. Now, whether we pay attention to what is present, because see, this is where the confusion is. Hey, blessings. Egoic patterns of confusions. First, they must be identified. Where am I confused? If you're not sure where you're confused, pay attention to your limitations, pay attention to your language, pay attention to your reactions. How am I behaving? To get out of the egoic patterns of confusion, recognize where you're arrogant, recognize where you're selfish. Those are the patterns this world wants us to carry, but we don't. We don't want to carry the patterns of selfishness. We don't want to carry the patterns of arrogance. We don't want to carry the patterns of worrying and anxious and all afraid. Oh my God, the world is so dark and painful. Everywhere I look is a criminal. Oh, praise God. I remember my own days of confusion, but the best way to get out of egoic patterns of confusion is learn how to focus your mind on your awareness. What am I aware of? What am I thinking? What is my mind leading me to? In our own individual, unique composition in this world that is infinite, right? The center of the universe for you is you within you. Not the ego likes to think it is the center of the universe, and they did that because of me. They said this because of me. They did, just nonsense. The world is egocentric. There's a lot of egotistical patterns. The selfish creates the corruption. The entire economic and government systems are an externalization of the corruption of our ego. How do we get out of our egoic patterns of confusion? The truth. That's the key. Convince yourself to fall in love with the truth. Like the truth is the only thing that matters. Become willing to die, especially allow your old self to die, allow your old beliefs to die in order to have a better relationship with the truth. To love the truth is to love God. To love God is to love the truth, because the truth comes from that which is real. We don't get to choose what's shown to us to be real. I didn't choose the life I'm living completely. I mean, I made choices from the circumstances that life brought forth. And I'm so grateful I chose to turn to God. Sincerely, brothers and sisters, to get out of your egoic patterns of confusion, seek to know. Seek to know. Seek to know. Those who are arrogant think they know. So where are you arrogant? Where could you improve if you seek to know differently? Because this is another aspect of the truth and our God, is we actually get to create, and we can believe in whatever truth that we want. The world will manipulate itself in order for you to be right, and your brain will do that. No, let me not say the world will manipulate it. That could be true, but I don't know that to be a fact. What I do know is the mind will manipulate you into seeing the truth that you choose. This goes back to the distinctions between living in spirit or living in form. The form creates our limits, and with the limits, those, well, we find limited options, limited choices, a lot of resentment, a lot of guilt, a lot of anger, a lot of fear. When we choose to live with imagined limits, without the recognition that the only thing that matters is the truth, and the truth is that which is happening right now. It doesn't matter if we like what's happening or we don't like what's happening. We get to choose. You get to choose how you feel about what happened, what is happening, and what might happen from your perspective. You get to choose every moment. So remember, remind yourself. That's what I'm here doing. I am a different aspect of you. That's all I am. A different aspect of you, and you are the divine creator. You and I, we are creating, co-creating this world together. And through my life, I learned different things than you learned. And what I'm here to do is just to remind you to stay present. Because your life, my life, it's only happening now. And right now is the eternal presence of God. When we drift away from the present and we start thinking our thoughts are more controlling than that which is real, I drifted away. Now I'm coming back. When we think our thoughts replace, are the things we think replace that which is real, we become delusional. And here, within us, we are the center of the universe. Each of us is. It's a divine creation that can only be true because we are. If you are the center of the universe, then everything is happening within you. The heavenly realms as well as the hell. It's all within you. These concepts of heaven and hell, good and evil, it's all within. Pleasure is within as well. Pain, suffering, it's all within. And the entire universe that you are experiencing, through your mind, you're creating the definitions and the meanings. Don't let your definitions override what is true. There's so many people fighting to be right, placing their rightness over enjoying the day, or more importantly, over learning different things, learning new things, expanding on what they think is right with different perspectives. I don't know. Life really is an interesting adventure. This, the eyes cannot see what the mind doesn't know. I don't believe the eyes can see what the mind doesn't know. We create a blindness, a cognitive blindness through our ignorance, but that ignorance, I trust, comes through veils, right? We've got a unique creator that loves us all, and we are all divine aspects of the creation, uniquely created and brought into being for us to experience today together. And so, for you who are tuning in at a different time, thank you, but these words are still true. We are here, divinely created, to bring forth the new world, to shine the light onto the darkness. Look within yourself to find your darkness, find your corruptions, find your excuses, find your blame. That's where you want to look. It's not it's not fun, but the rewards, man, the rewards are worth it. You want to travel into the darkness in yourself. You want to find out. You want to pay attention to you. What am I showing to the world? Why am I doing this? Why does God have me acting like this? Why am I feeling this way? Why am I doing these things every day? What is the reason? And then wonder, what does love want me to do? I mean, if I just settled in to the peace of this moment, this is actually something I considered talking about earlier too. How to find peace. How to find peace in this ever changing experience of moments of life. How do you find peace in the chaos? And all around we're part of these different dimensions, and our perspectives can change in a moment, right? From impulses from within us, the feelings of hunger or lust or desire, or something comes up, fear comes up. All of a sudden, our minds are changed and we're transformed. Our perspectives change in an instant. And in this multidimensional experience of constantly changing perspectives, we're expected to have constant relationships with the change. And all of these relationships, all of these perspectives, all of these dimensions, those come through the one gift of awareness. The gift of awareness is who you are. You are the gift of the awareness of the observer, of the experiencer of you. You're not just the body of you. You are the multidimensional being with infinite different perspectives and aspects, not only for you to choose to see outwardly, but for you to show outwardly and for others to project back at you. So, if you realize that you are a part of everything, where why would the peace be absent? Shouldn't be. And that's the realization I came to is I am a part of everything. Everything I experience is a part of me. What I think of things doesn't matter, but I know it matters how I feel within, and I know that peace is available. So finding peace available in the present, oh man, that's where life starts to happen. Because when you find peace in the present with the awareness of love, life feels pretty good. And this is the practice of Zen, right? The Buddhic idea of flow through your time in your life. You surrender to the peace that is ever present. And the different aspect, I call that becoming one with the Father. The Father's will is shown through the moments. The moments of life are gifted to us through love. We are the expression, we are the the loving expression of life. Life is the loving expression of love. Life is the living expression of love. We are expressing love in our different ways. Our egoic minds, right? The limited mind that creates all these conditions for the world and for ourselves. We create these distortions on love. We start sharing love and life and the moments really unpleasant ways. We get real arrogant, we get real insecure, our past wounds, our unhealed trauma, it keeps coming up over and over and over. When does it end? It ends when we grow in ourselves. When we outgrow the patterns of the past, and we say, yeah, you know what, those old limitations, those no longer define me. The old diagnosis, the old titles, yeah, that's not the totality of who I am. You can still call me a drunk, you can still call me a whatever, I don't care. Been there, done that. It's not who I am today. Who I am today? Who I am today is who I present myself as in this moment. I am a man of peace. I am a peaceful man who wants to share love and peace with the world because love is the answer for our world. Our world has forgotten love because, well, I guess it wasn't time for us to understand. But the way to know love is to stand righteously, align yourself authentically, humbly with that which is true. Because that which is true, it's divine. You can find peace in this moment. And this is the practice. This is the practice of meditation. The whole point of meditation, for those who haven't practiced yet, please, today's a great day to start. I've been kind of dancing around explanations throughout this, but it's basically detaching yourself from the rest of the world, allowing yourself to realize your insignificance and embrace the idea that you are nothing. Now, when you keep realizing how nothing you are, you realize how great God is, especially compared to you, compared to me, compared to the little tiny bit of knowledge that we may grow into knowing. Compared to our God, we are no thing. We are no thing without God. And yet, with God, we can become everything. We can realize the everything that you are is meant to be here. You are meant to be who you are, how you are, where you are right now. So, by your being in the present, You are fulfilling your duty, your purpose. And so, if you can stay in the present from now on, choosing to grow greater than you were in the moments before, in the day before, in the years before, choosing to grow greater than you've ever been in the present, staying in the present, staying in the present mind with the awareness that the future is where you are to be. And you get to choose the future where you are to be, how you are to become, right? Through the powers of your mind and your imagination. And you can only imagine or remember right now, right? So stay present when you're present. Allow yourself to get lost in the moments of the task, of the relationship, of the conversation, of the well, allow yourself to get lost in the present as often as you can. And if time permits, right, the duties of life allow you to just detach from the world and just sit and reflect. That's where you can meditate, contemplate, start creating in your mind the future that you want to realize. Because in contemplation and reflection and meditation, intentional focus and thought, ignoring the rest of the world for the purpose of your self-love and improvement, your welfare and being. You choose to ignore the rest of the world and bring focus into you, your prosperity, your future health, your future love, your future abundance, your future achievements, your future success. And you get clarity on what you want, then you figure out what you need to accomplish to achieve it. Once you figure out what you need to accomplish, to what you need to do to learn, to achieve, to accomplish your dreams, well, then what you've done, you've narrowed your focus. You have chosen to narrow your options. You've taken control of your life. You've if you got clarity and a purpose and a dream and a future for yourself, well, and you've got mapped out the steps you're going to grow and the things you're going to learn and the things you're going to do in order to achieve that success. Well, now you have a focus on your options. You know you don't need to waste time in things that do not serve you and your chosen purpose and your greater meaning. And then as you go through time, staying attentive and present, focused in the future that you are creating. And brothers and sisters, I'll let you in on a secret here. First of all, blessings to you, Hank, your contributions. And I was thinking about this earlier. I allowed myself to get distracted, but I'll share the thought I turned to. I had thoughts earlier today. What do I do? What is the right thing to do? I certainly don't mean to be an inconvenience, and I have full intentions. Actually, this was a prayer earlier. I pray that God allows me the opportunity to reward those who have been involved in this housing debacle that I find myself in. I hope to be able to reward the people who have been patient, shown me grace. And I hope to really reward those who have shown me support and encouragement. And that is my prayer for the Father, that the Father may allow me to achieve some things. But another part I realized, and I shared this on a different stream earlier, I should share it here. The more I realized, I was thinking about this earlier. I hope to communicate with the property manager, the property owner. I have attempted to communicate with the owners, but the manager's in a tight spot, and I don't want to rock it or push where I don't have to. So I'm appreciating the grace he's and patience that has been shared with me. But the reality is, I know that people involved in this, if they understood me, I believe they trust me. And if they trusted me, I believe that they would want to help me. And if they wanted to help me, well, this house, it's evidence of me. It has become a landmark in my journey here on YouTube. While it's not great and huge, it is a growth, and this is a part of the story. This house is also evidence of me and my past where I lived in hell. This house was vacant for a while, as I recall, and as it could be said, it was built for me and my son. It was built for me and my family. So, given the evidence the home possesses of my life and my inner belief that I may, with support, may become something kind of substantial in this world, may be able to make some substantial influence. Well, this house has also become, in my past several years of solitude, it's become a sanctuary for me, a house of prayer. It is a house of worship for sure. Every room in this house is prayers and gratitude and blessings, thoughts of God shared. I know there is loving energy in this home. So, landmark, it's evidence, it's a sanctuary, it's a part of this story. And my hope is that, well, through some of the new experiences I've had, I believe that justice is still achievable for me, and through justice of the wrong of my past employment dispute, there's a potential to restore rightful ownership to this property back to me, and be able to reward the people inconvenienced by the confusion. God is good. God is good in so many ways. That is what I have been learning. Um, so why did I bring up that story? Oh, it was a thought that came up, but it was a distraction from where I was at earlier, wasn't it? One of the things I have been working on, and I'm bringing some of this up not to brag by any stretch, but to bring awareness of what I'm doing. It's not people's fault. We're all limited in what we notice. And that reminds me, coming back around. We're all limited by what we notice because most of our preconceived ideas. What'll happen is when we've formed a judgment about someone, I'm swinging us back around to this earlier topic, this idea of if you think I can't learn from, or if you think I can't understand Jack. I can't learn from you can't learn from Jack. If you got those ideas in your head, you will not. So that's why I encourage, recognize you can learn from every moment, regardless of what the messenger looks like, what the event, the experience appears to be. Regardless of what you think, you can learn from every moment. And that includes from someone like me. God is so good. God is so good. But see, if you think that you cannot, what'll happen is as the opportunity to learn, you know, no matter how kind, no matter how perfectly it's offered to you, you'll find a thought in your mind which will distract you. You'll miss out on the opportunity, or you'll focus on finding a problem and a flaw. And then your focus on the flaw, you're completely ignoring the truth that was just revealed. I'm witnessing it happen often in the conversations that I've been experiencing. So, Praise God. You know what, dude? You have been accusing me of bragging when all I'm doing is pointing to the truth, my friend. And the truth is perfect, and God is good. And that's what I've learned to understand. See, here's something I realized too. My son doesn't know the man who I am. He knows the man who he thinks I am. It's just like all of you, with all of us others. We only know who we think we are of ourselves and each other. But we've got to be honest. What are we showing? What are we sharing? How are we really showing ourselves to be? Are we honest? Are we authentic? I see so many people willing to just throw other people away. I'm one of these. I've been thrown away by so many good-hearted people, and they don't know what the frick they're doing. They're so short-sighted and insecure, which loops them in the perpetrator victim mindset. And I keep dealing with confusion with each other. What I've been learning a gentler way, kinder way of being. And guess what? I encourage you. You already know how. You already know how to be kind and gentle. You already know how to be forgiving. You know how to be faithful. You know how to be loyal. Sometimes we need examples. Sometimes we need instruction. I've been blessed to receive both. I've been blessed in my life to discover some incredible teachers offering such compassionate, gentle examples of true gifts of speech. These messengers, there's so many messengers alive today, brothers and sisters. How about that? If you can trust me, at least let me point you to people who explain this stuff better than me. If you can't understand me, what I'm trying to offer, ask me to point you to someone else who might explain this stuff differently so that you can understand. Because the way of love is the way of Jesus. The way of Jesus is the way of God. What Jesus showed us is natural law, what could become common law for all of us. We follow the truth. We honor the truth, not authorities, not bosses, not bankers, not notices, not excuses. We follow the truth. We honor the truth. We share the truth gently, offering correction. We can break free of this victim perpetrator mindset, which has been instituted into our legal system. The government and the economic systems, they're corrupt. We have the chance to change this. And hey, you know what? I'm going to do this. I am going to do this. Why not? Ooh. Okay. All right. I'm going to go to the chat for a question. There's a man named Mark Diamondstein who I know. He holds a public position in the American Postal Workers Union. He's the national president of the American Postal Workers Union. I've been coming to clarity in this realization the past few days. I know there's been confusion about me and my efforts with my family, my son. I'm not as focused on my son as much as this other man. See, because Mark could, I believe, help me achieve justice for the misunderstandings of the past, but more importantly, he could be an excellent connection for my purpose. Those of you who have been tuned in, you know, my goal. I believe that peace can be found through through the structures of the American government. I believe we can restore righteousness to that which has been corrupted. So I guess my question is, you know what? Screw it. Mark, I'm gonna bring it up anyway. This is Mark Diamondstein, President of American Postal Workers Union. So, for those who might be familiar with my story, um, I flew to Washington, D.C. in March of 2018. As an active postal employee, I was a bulk mail technician and a local American APWU. I was a local president here in Spokane. In March of 2018, I flew myself with arrangements, right? We'd agreed by email for a phone conversation. I invited myself to their office and I met with executives at the United States Postal Service. And the idea is I was bringing ideas that I believe can still today help the United States Postal Service become a better place to work for every employee across the nation. I believe I could help. I believed back then that I could help improve the workplace across the nation based on what I was learning and what I had learned. Well, things happened. Actually, let me not get ahead of myself. After the meeting with the executives at the Postal Service, I walked down to the APWU headquarters, and luckily, Mark Diamondstein and several of the other National Executive Board officers were present, and we had an informal conversation together in Mark's office. So I explained to Mark that I had gone and met with executives about the idea of a promotion, bringing me into their executive level of leadership. And at the same time, I was still a union rep. So the discussion we had was, did this conversation, did that meet the definition of applying for a position? The position did not exist. Had I applied for an actual position, it would mean that I had to step down from my elected position as a union rep. The idea to avoid conflict of interest, right? We don't want people sucking at the teat of the bosses trying to get a promotion at the same time as they're allegedly negotiating on behalf of workers. I understood the conflict. So Mark and I and several of the other executive officers had conversation in March of 2018. The determination was, you violated nothing wrong. Your intentions were right. Go back home and lead your union till something changes. So that's what I did. I flew back home, continuing as the union president until the postal inspectors or until the Postal Service sicked the OIG agents after me, and then I was under investigation. So I know this has been kind of a long story, but this is my documentation of my life. And maybe there's a way to clip this down and I can share this video directly with the executive board of the American Postal Workers Union or something. Anyway, whoops. So I went through a 3-year labor dispute with the United States Postal Service with the American Postal Workers Union allegedly representing me. I was under investigation because the attorneys at the Postal Service they accused me of federal ethics violations based on circumstantial facts related to my meeting with the postal executives. So They misunderstood my intentions. I was wrongfully accused, interrogated, I was punished, and I allege I was wrongfully terminated. Now, wrongfully terminated, we take that pretty lightly in the world today, right? Most people do. Lots of people get fired. It's no big deal. But let's think about this. In this capitalist society where money, the fiat currency that everyone is willing to die for, lie for, betray for, sacrifice themselves, their life force energy. In this capitalist system, if you don't have that fiat currency, you don't get comfort, you don't get cooperation from most people. You don't get access to a lot of resources. So wrongful termination is actually a pretty important topic that could be taken a lot more seriously here in America, particularly since there's still such an opposition towards offering workers some rights. I mean, there's these labor disputes going on across America, different groups trying to rise up and organize, and the oppressive systems, people, their neighbors, other people who live in their communities, sharing the same, sucking from the same teat, the breadcrumbs being offered by the corporations, and people turn into enemies, dividing themselves, trying to oppress and deny and control workers. This is insanity. Capital punishment in a capitalist world, wrongful termination is a serious issue, I believe. So, Mark Diamondstein, leading the union that I allege misrepresented me, as it says, he is the top officer. He is responsible for all of the operations of the National Union. He oversees all the activities conducted by the officers and staff of every department, division, and committee defined by their constitution. So this guy's an important guy, old Mark Diamondstein, and he meets with the Postmaster General as their operations require. Mark Diamondstein and the Postmaster General, they've got a lot of connections in the legislative arena, right? The Postmaster General of the United States Postal Service is appointed through the Board of Governors, and somehow the selection is made through the president, right? The current guy that's on there was a Trump appointee, and he manages that organization like a true capitalist. From what I can tell, he is certainly focused on profits, right? Increase productivity through that fear and oppression. And, I don't know. It's been a long time since I worked there or talked to people there. But the point is, old Mark Diamondstein and Louis DeJoy, they could easily help someone like me get the attention of some people in Congress. And if we can get the attention of people in Congress, well, we have a chance of speaking to the people who can literally, through their legislative power of the position that they've been placed within, they have the opportunity to literally rewrite the rules. And see, if we rewrite the rules, kind of wake everyone up, shake things up, we could break the American citizens by way of the systems of the American government. We've got the answers available to us, and we can use these systems to break free of the corruption of the monopoly game, right? The privatized Federal Reserve banking system, which has everyone enslaved to debts, willing to corrupt themselves and sell their souls for wealth and celebrity. We don't have to live this way. I don't think we're supposed to live this way, but I guess since we are living this way, I guess we are supposed to live this way for so far. Hey, I don't want people to harass Mark, not in the slightest. I don't. However, I do have the intentions of speaking to Mark Diamondstein, and if anyone can come up with some ideas that would be helpful, please feel free to do whatever you feel is helpful. My emails, it's here's my reluctance though, admittedly. Um, my reluctance has been that I've not reached out to him for a while. So he was one of my inspired thoughts earlier today. So please, if you're seeing this and you're considering reaching out, at least recognize I haven't done so for myself in a while. But just because Mark and many others may have forgotten me or ignored me, there's many more people who don't know me yet, and they're the ones that I want to help. See, I know that peace can be found in this world. I found it for myself with abundance. I found enough love and peace within myself to believe that we could share it with the world. So I'm looking for people in this lifetime who actually want to join with me to help me succeed. Now, my focus on my son, that still brings up, a lot of, I don't have much to offer the young kid. In the financial department, I just got the wisdom and the love I've got. But if I can transform the world, my son will come calling. I know that. People won't be able to keep denying the what I'm really doing. There's opportunities here, sincerely. Anyone who wants to join me in this adventure, God is with us. We get to choose based on the opportunities that we learn of throughout each day. I know with or without me, the solution for the future of humanity, it greatly improves when we bring God's love, God's truth into the equation, because it's always in the equation. It's our ignorance that thinks it's not. See, but through the ignorance, collectively, we've created these systems of rule that were prophesized, the beasts that have risen from the land and from the sea. They're clearly hidden by and fueled by corruption, the corruption of profit and greed. Profit and greed, where do those come through? Temptation. What's the number one tool of the devil the children are warned about? Temptation. Do we not warn our children about temptation? We warn them about a lot of foolish, stupid things, don't we? I look forward to the future that our God is revealing. I pray for change for all of us, not just for me. And I do know, brothers and sisters, all of you who do join me, who have been joining me, who have been so generous with your support and your encouragement. I do see, I don't always recognize, and I'm trying to improve that too, please. So I do see so much encouragement and um, so much support. I want you to trust that it's well placed. I want you to realize that I am a man worthy of taking a risk on. You can bet on me. I don't give up. It's what I've learned in this life. I do not quit. I may surrender and retreat and reassess, but you better believe if there's something I want, it will be. Well, by God's grace, what will be, will be. I know that I pray often. I pray that miracles be shared, be experienced. And miracles will be shared and experienced through abundance. I've envisioned this. As more people experience the transformative healing power of truth, as God lifts the veils and people like, whoa, oh, that's what was, oh, now you process all these ideas and it's just shit. And it's like, holy crap. And your life is never the same. I know I'm not explaining this very well. A spiritual experience so profound the phenomena will transform your life forever. That's what I experienced back at the end of 2017, man. And then the January 1st of 2018, that's when I chose to change my life. And my life has never been the same again. I disagree with you, Jason. I don't know you nor your path. Um, but a miracle happens every single day. Every day. Miracles happen by the fact that we awaken to the sun, to the moon, to nature, to breath. We awaken each day with memories and thoughts. We have life that flows through us. We have we have we have the technology and ability designed within our bodies, our humble bodies that everyone has, right? Within us, we get the tools and technologies to experience flavors, the distinct subtle differences between the salty and the sweet and the spicy and the tangy and the umami and then the different textures and the different temperatures and food is a miracle. Turning that tradition of eating, right? Receiving from the world and consuming, turning the body, turning that into energy and then disposing of what it no longer needs. It's a miracle. A miracle happens every single day, every moment. Hey, Chuck, I appreciate your thoughts. You offer a lot of thoughts, lots and lots of thoughts from Chuck. Thank you for your thoughts, Chuck. I pray that you can repair a connection with family. I will. Keep in mind, you don't need status or material to do so. I know. One day, may God allow the repair. One day, may God allow all those around to realize anyone can help change the lives of anyone. Anyone can help change the lives of anyone, especially when people are honest about their situations, when they're honest about their intentions. Anyone can help anyone. Anyone can do anything. And guess what? You are anyone. So am I. We are all anyone. Well, this is the thing. Thoughts are not always helpful. And this is what I realize. People stay in their thoughts. I used to live in my thoughts, in my memories. I was generous with thoughts too. If I thought something, I thought it was important, I shared it. Not every thought is relevant. Not every thought has any meaning beyond the person thinking it. So these are the things I've been learning. I appreciate that. Keep listening. My mind has gotten pretty profound. My mind has gotten very profound. And you know how? I gave it up. I turned it over to the infinite mind because the infinite mind shows me that which is. And that which is, we just got a guest. Welcome, Brother Hank. How are you today?
I'm doing well. But yeah, I just want to vouch for Jack never giving up his determination and all of his all of these things he's working on. So I just want to acknowledge his determination. I recognize it. I have it myself, but I just want to recognize it and I think it's important to point out.
Thank you, brother. We do share a lot of good qualities. I've been learning from you too. You've got a great composure to you, Hank. The ability to stay present and paying attention. I've noticed it's above what others are showing quite often. Um, I was thinking about you though earlier, wondering because I heard what you said the other day that you're joining, and I appreciate it as a sign of solidarity and to stand with and enjoying the adventure. Trying to bring some of the You're trying to bring some of the fire to you to take it off me.
Yes.
I appreciate that. I don't know how well it's been working though. It has been. There have been changes. I think
Yeah,
everything.
things have been a bit, little more calmer. Some of the message spread over. The mess been spread thinner, so people can actually tolerate it. So you can actually get your topic and not have your show derailed 4 to 5 days a week.
That's the goal. The
Mhm.
goal is to allow less derailment, more productivity. But honestly, I don't know. This what I'm doing. Excuse me. What I'm doing could go so many different ways. So many different ways. What I want to achieve could be done. The idea of sharing these messages. If I actually changed my focus and learned how to do video editing a little better, I could probably avoid doing the panels at all. I could become more like some of those other broadcasters and just put out my monologue and messages, but I like the interactions as well.
Yeah, I do too. Probably, I'm trying to teach myself Blender, but I just got done with vacation, so I had to catch up on backlog work. Um, but yeah, I think I'm going to use Blender to do video editing, and it can also do model editing. I'll go
Mm.
ahead and get you the link in the back check. Link in the back check. It's free and open source. Actually, I have a wrench. I'll put it in the back and front.
Thank you, Hank. I appreciate that. That's what it's about. Sharing these things. So sharing the tools and the things that are helpful with each other. This life doesn't have to be so challenging. That's what I've learned. And Blender. Thank you, Hank. Hey. Oh God. I don't know if I believe that or not, but welcome, Joel, USPS. I was talking about the Postal Service. I was actually just explaining my connections to Mark Diamondstein, the APWU national president. And the backstory of me is I have the goal to change the world, bring peace to the world. I think the United States Postal Service, through its connections of my past, is a way to do so. So I the if that's someone really from, well, they didn't say that.
No,
They
I
just
took a
said
look at that. It looks like it's a new account that has nothing on.
beautiful. Lots of people. Everyone's a comedian. Everyone's putting on a show, contributing to the show. And we are a part of this cosmic light show that is reality. We're a part of something far greater than our minds might realize. Holy cows. I feel at peace. Peace is the goal that I hope to share. What I've been realizing for myself, life is much more enjoyable when we learn how to relax, when we learn how to chill out, just allow things to be, and for the future to become what it's going to become. Um, sense of humor is very, very helpful because, well, I think from the infinite mind, our lives could be a joke. Practical joke. We're given life only to receive death at the end. What kind of joke is that?
Cosmic joke.
It is, but Hank, this thought just realized. It is a cosmic joke until you discover the path and the way to eternal life. Our God is so good. Sincerely. And when I talk about God being good, I'm talking about the divinity, perfection, the purity of nature, of thought, of emotion, of energy. I'm talking about the perfection of love. And this is what I realize. I keep saying this a lot. Thank you, God. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, God, my Lord. My Lord is love. I know love through the teachings and the way of Jesus, the Christ. The Christ brought forth perfection. Perfection is abundant. It's available for us to realize, to become. Perfection is the moment. So if we surrender to the moment, we surrender to the perfection of God's perfection, right? To the stillness of being whole and complete, yet still without the answers. Hey, um, yes and no. I don't want to bring the word God into the USPS. I want to bring compassion and care and authenticity and greater integrity, particularly from the supervisors and the bosses. Um, and, I believe that, well, beyond just the Postal Service, that could be a great example of a place to transform. And it would affect every community across the nation of America. And I believe America together, as we unite, will gain control of the government that we've got. And the America that is, we can lead the world forward into the future for prosperity and peace. All we've got to do is get past the likes of Donald Trump and Joe Biden. We can do that pretty easily. We just get in front of them, present them with the truth. And the truth that we all know, peace is available. And love can be shared freely. And when love is honored, when the truth with love comes honesty. And when I'm talking about love, I'm talking about the love that Jesus showed, the love that God shows through Mother Earth. And all the nature still exists. I want to be a part of the world's awakening. Because an awakening to the truth will let everyone realize the American dream was a lie. You do not work hard and obey the rules of someone else to live a good life. That creates your own self-imposed slavery. People become loyal to corporations, loyal to oaths, loyal to jobs and titles, willing to sell themselves, their happiness, their future. Well, they sell their happiness. I'm guilty of what I'm accusing, what I'm describing. I sold my happiness for the false belief I would have financial security in my future. And I got to enjoy financial security of the day, but I didn't enjoy life because I'd become a willing slave. But that's what I was taught. The American way is to obey. Brothers and sisters, the way of Christ is to lead. We are here to become leaders. Leaders of each other. And the best way to lead is to serve. We serve one another through the moments of our day. The moments we get to experience each other is where we get to discover. I don't dislike the president. I'm actually more loyal to the Postal Service than I believe Louis DeJoy is. Okay, so you can believe whatever you want, come to whatever conclusions you want. But I got fired from the Postal Service for trying to make it a better place to work. I still know that I can, and I still have the hopes and purpose to try. And I don't dislike the president. I feel sympathy for Joe Biden. I believe he should be retired and sitting in a nice home, just taken care of, not propped up and being told what to say as America is funding genocide and wars. This is insanity. So I welcome you joining, Joel, USPS. You're welcome to hit the link if you'd like. Really curious. And this freedom is an inside job. The truth sets us free. How do you know when you're free? When you're at peace, when you have self-control, when you have control of yourself and you have peace within yourself, you are free. It's when you choose that you don't have a choice. You choose to believe the worst and imagine the worst. That's when things don't work out so well. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Hank? I'm actually feeling pretty complete early.
Yes, I'm feeling complete. I would just want to remind you to just leave your opportunities open, because I know there are a lot of places that would appreciate your message. So if the USPS doesn't want to hear it, I'm sure there's other people who want to hear it. So be open
Thank
to
you.
other opportunities.
Thank you, Hank. Sincerely, I appreciate that, brother. Um, I've actually, well, we've been streaming about an hour and a half here. I've actually done several hours online already. And I got notice that there's a local concert. One of the ladies I went to high school with is performing in a concert this evening. So I'm going to go check her out, share some support, enjoy local talent. Hank, thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother.
All right. I'm going to continue on. Thank you sincerely for joining the stream. Hey, and Joel, USPS, I don't know if you're real or not. There's been a lot of pretenders and fakers that I've been dealing with. If you are real, you were just wondering, welcome. I appreciate you joining. I was legitimately talking about the Postal Service and some of my radical ideas of bringing peace and love into the world. Really, it's more of an awakening. I want to help people realize there's peace and love all around you. There is peace and love all around you and within you. Where your mind goes, where your mind goes is where your body's going to follow. So if you keep your mind in an agitated state, in a state of conflict, if you keep yourself in a state of depression and hopelessness and worry and fear and darkness, well, God bless you. Please stop doing that to yourself, okay? You don't have to live in darkness and despair and disease and all sorts of things. When we start to wonder, when we start to detach ourselves from some of these labels, some of these memories, some of these ideas, we can detach ourselves from the ones that are painful. Doesn't mean we ignore their existence. We just no longer allow the painful memories and opinions to consume us. We can bring health into our bodies by purifying our minds. Clarity. Clarity is that which heals. The truth brings clarity. The truth is the only thing that matters. That's what I've realized today. Hey, brothers and sisters, I'm going to wrap it up. I saw some of the comments. Daisy, I appreciate that. I do. I feel as though I have been put through the ringer the past few years. Let me correct myself. I felt in the past I had been put through the ringers the past few years. Okay? Because a lot of unexpected things happened. And there was a lot of pains and, whatever. But I am so grateful. Daisy May, thank you. You've been a wonderful supporter, and I am so grateful for every day I have lived, because every day I've lived has brought me to this day, and this day has me surrounded by such supportive, amazing, wonderful people. And I know that from here today, I still have the opportunity for life to improve, and you do too. We all do. And that's the whole point. I'm going to bring this up one more time just because I absolutely love the thumbnail myself. We do live in a fantasy world, a world of illusion. The governments, the corporations, the reputations, the celebrities, none of these things may be what you think. It's often that the world is different. Things are not always as they seem. So recognize the truth. We live in a fantasy world, a world of illusion. The great task in life is to find reality. You get to choose. You get to choose the reality of what is important. What are you holding on to? I forgot some of the tips. In the present moment, to find peace within yourself. If you're having trouble detaching from some of the chaos and disagreements, go into your memory banks. Make a practice of finding memories of peace, memories of joy, memories of gratitude. Make a practice of recalling those into your present. Because whether the feelings are coming from the past, for your memory or your imagination, if you can bring good feelings into you, into your present, why wouldn't you? I mean, seriously, don't you want to feel good? Don't you want to feel better? You get to try. I did, and I encourage you to do so as well. Brothers and sisters, thank you again for tuning in. Finding the spirit of life, the spirit of life, it's the wisdom and love that's available. It's abundant. Don't run from it. Don't hide from it. Don't be selfish with it. Share your wisdom, share your love, but do it with joy. Do it with laughter and fun and loving intentions. Brothers and sisters, sincerely, thank you again here on YouTube, here on Rumble, on Facebook, in the present, in the future. God bless you. Thank you for joining. Till next time, please do the subscribe, follow, like, whatever, and choose love. Peace for everyone and live without fear. Thank you again, and God bless us all. Peace.